Okay, so I'm going to blend using the Kenchii Razor. And this is a wonderful tool for blending, just like thinning shears, not like a stripping knife. It does cut hair, so you don't want to use it like a stripping knife. You want to use it like a thinning shear. So I have a nice big clipper line here. I did the clippers on her face and neck, and I've got this big line to blend. You would normally use thinning shears, which I do sometimes, but the razor works really great, especially if you're not that great with thinning shears. So I'm going to put a new blade on here, just super easy to do. And this has a plastic guard on it, so you're not going to cut the dog. Stop. And you just push it up and pop in a new one. And they actually last a long time, the blades. But if you feel like it's not cutting that great, just put in a new one. They do come in a 10 pack and they're pretty inexpensive, 12 bucks for a 10 pack. That'll probably last you a year. So what I'm gonna do is turn her around. And I've got this big old line. And I'm just gonna take my razor and very, very lightly just go over this line with short little flicks, then brush. So and it makes a seamless transition versus, potentially choppy one. Another place I like to use the razor is blending the tail. So I clippered underneath her tail with a 10 blade. So she's got all this long hair on top. So I'm just going to lightly go over it with the razor. Stop. It's great for, really getting a really pretty blend. Very little effort, especially if you have bad hands. I actually have quite a bit of arthritis in my hands. I use my thinning shears a lot, but, I use my razor a lot too, because it's a lot less difficult on my hands. So you don't want to use this on the back coat because it's not a stripping knife. It will cut the hair. So instead of using that on the back coat, you want to use a carding knife. This is a cocker, so, on a cocker. And a carding knife is going to pull out dead undercoat, not cut the coat. You don't want to cut the coat. You don't want to clipper it. You don't want to trim it. You want to card it. You just want to pull out the dead undercoat. Clipping it is not good for the skin. It's not good for the hair follicle. It isn't going to look that nice. This only takes a few minutes, really, if you have a good carding knife. This is the Karen Osper carding knife, medium. And it just looks so much better, natural, smooth. And you don't have to do this all the time. I mean, the more the merrier, but, I only do her back, strip it like once a month, maybe. But it looks so much prettier than being clipped. So, anyway, but back to the razor. I've got her top knot left to do still. And, of course I would use thinning shears here. But you actually can get a lot done with the razor too. You can see a nice big clipper line there. I would really just use this for touch-up, but I'm just doing this just to as an example, just to show. I could do the whole thing with the razor, but yeah, I would probably want to use thinning shears. But it does do a really nice job blending. And if you've ever got any stray ones up there, it's great for that. She's got kind of a fine top knot, so getting those little fine hairs on top. And then I can just take my thinning shears. Good girl. Stand up.